First up, educators and parents push through legislative fix to damaging third grades retention law. Several bills have already been filed to change or repeal the law, and T, aka Tennessee Education Association, is working to return decision making on retention to where it belongs, with the professionals working directly with the students. All right, so the law requires third graders who score below state cut scores on the TCAP ELA to be held back. All right, yeah, guys, that's okay. Unless the students attend summer school and pass an additional assessment, or the parents appeal the state bureaucracy. The law overrules the professional judgment of teachers and building leaders who work with these students every day, said T President Tanya Coates. All right, we had talked about this before. So, Granier, do you think that educators and parents should be pushing for a legislative fix to the damaging of the third grade retention law?
When you think about it, yeah, because you're putting a narrative on the students, you're scaring the students into passing. You know what I mean? And the goal
Yeah.
of being an educator is to empower students and embrace them to pass. Yes, but I also feel like the state is doing a justice to where they're trying to push students on level and to keep the students going forward. Because normally, sometimes when you look at how record you're looking at the record of how many students and stuff are not adjusting or not keeping up to the level, then I kind of feel that it is important for you to implement a way for them to be, in a space to where it's gonna have them pass. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So students and parents and educators and everything, yes, they should be pushing for a legislative fix because it's important to empower students to really pass and really get this thing going. But I also feel like the retention law is an issue, but you're really trying to push the passing on the students. You don't want to scare them and make them feel like this is gonna be a thing to it. You know what I mean?
Of course, of course. And we had talked about this, onto the show, earlier this year, and we share our thoughts onto this, and finally, what Tennessee was doing this, and I was just it's okay because I have the article right here, and I just want to point out that it's happening in other states as well, including Mississippi and Alabama. Now, also on these tests, okay, so the first standardized test children's take, it is about 80 minutes long, you guys. It's 80 minutes long, and it is far different than any education experience students have had. So, my takeaway from this is, because we don't want our students, of course, we don't want to see any of our students fail. We don't. We don't want them to be pushed back. And I feel that why would you hold a student back if, they don't score a certain type of number that you want? I don't understand that. And I don't really get that because we're talking about third graders again. Third graders.
Yeah.
It's wrong in my book. It's wrong in my book.
I feel like the standardized testing should be pushed back because not every student is prepared to take the standardized tests. That's number one.
Right.
Problems. Preparation is it's a main thing for this. And I believe that a lot of schools and students are not preparing themselves for this test, which will give you the number of failures and failed scores that would mean a more larger number in rejecting and retaining the students. So my question for the state is this: if the number continues to skyrocket of students retained, then what can you do to implement to prevent that other than putting this retention law? because not every student is accustomed to taking a school state test.
Agree.
Well,
And it's oh, sorry, TJ, but I was going to say it's an issue. Especially in public schools, with these standardized testing, it's a big issue. We talk about this onto the show. I think that we should get rid of it, of standardized testing, because for me, now probably some educators are going to come at me for this, probably, but I think I think it's a waste. I'm sorry. I think it's because it truly doesn't help for me, Damien Anderson here. When I was back in school, yes, I understand, we was trying, to see, improvement of what we have been taught and stuff. But I feel like every year when we take those, it's like the same thing each year. For me, it was the same stuff of taking every year. Did it quite help? To me, it quite didn't. It really didn't. So I don't believe in standardized testing. I don't, especially in our public schools. I don't believe in it.
What about you,
And
y'all, I can't keep my mouth shut no more. Y'all hate to be the backbreaker again.
the denominator is one. TJ's our denominator.
But look though, the retention law, I think the law is needed in the education system. I think that the students. Okay, so you're saying that I think one of you guys listening that the students are not prepared or not ready, to take that,
yeah,
state law testing.
yes,
Well, I think leading up for the whole year from August to April, that is enough preparation for standardized tests. Now, if the students want to take it as a joke, if they want to play all school year, then that's them. That has nothing to do with everyone else who's willing to pay attention to class and learn about stuff, about education stuff. But I do think that it is necessary for if our students don't reach that score that they need to go to the next grade, I think that they should just be held back then, because
But